So much going on. We got a special guest who's joining us right now. He is an attorney. He's a constitutional scholar. His name is Byron Henry. I want to get his thoughts on this whole Donald Trump Jr. scandal. And Byron Henry, welcome to the program. Good morning, sir.
Great to be with you today.
Thanks so much for being with us. The website is solidcounsel.com for folks that want more information. So I'm not a lawyer, Byron, but from my vantage point, this seems to be ridiculously overblown. I don't think that Donald Trump Jr. committed treason or perjury. I've heard both of those terms thrown around. But let's get your legal expert opinion on that.
Well, first of all, not being a lawyer is not preventing a lot of people from having strong opinions on the legality of Donald Trump Jr.'s actions, at least of late, including journalists and a lot of people on the left. But I've analyzed the statute in question. I've also looked at some of the past information we have from Donald Trump Jr., as well as reviewed a little bit of his testimony, and I think it's a bit of a stretch here with respect to the whole crime element. I mean, everybody knows it's against the campaign finance laws to solicit or accept contributions to a campaign from foreign nationals, and what I think most are trying to do is fit a square peg in a round hole by saying, taking a meeting with someone that might have information, which has value, by the way, according to some, taking a meeting with a foreign national that allegedly has information that could be of value to your father's campaign for president is criminal. And as I said, I think that's a stretch. I don't think, taking a meeting with someone and not asking for the information or attempting to buy the information or otherwise seeking it yourself is a crime, and I think it's a bit of a stretch. I do think that it does confirm that the Russian, at least the email seems to confirm, that there were people out there peddling information to harm Hillary Clinton and help Donald Trump in the election that had Russian connections, whether or not it was the Russian government or hackers in Russia or people based here. I mean but that's not news because the intelligence agencies have already said.
But I don't believe that. Actually, I'm questioning that because WikiLeaks said that the information didn't come from Russia, and we've got now evidence, potential evidence, that the leaks were internal from DNC officials, and I still am not satisfied. We've got a satisfactory answer as to the whole death of Seth Rich, the DNC staffer who was killed under mysterious circumstances. But and to me, Byron, it seems a lot more logical that Putin would want Hillary Clinton as president. Why would Putin want a guy who's going to rebuild the military and make America energy independent, leading our country? It just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, let's just say that's true. Let's just say it's true that Russia was trying to meddle on behalf of Donald Trump. Why would they send over a woman who is anti-Putin and a woman who was known to, I think, be involved with Boris Yeltsin and also was involved in the Obama administration and anti-Putin activities? Why would she be the one to be the representative for Vladimir Putin?
I think you make a very good point here. The question isn't whether that is authentic. I think from at least a lot on the left's view, it is whether or not Donald Trump Jr. thought it was and was seeking the information. So if you set aside what Donald Trump Jr. thought or it appears to be kind of a motivation from his emails, from whether there actually was information, whether or not this person was acting on behalf of the Russian government. That's why I said Russian connections. We just know this person that he was going to meet with was from Russia. We don't know that it's Russian government agent, whether or not it could have been
I want to know, Byron, why she was allowed to stay in the country and why the Obama administration, the Justice Department, issued her a visa.
And those are all legitimate questions, and I think it goes to your point that just assuming that because there's an email, it confirms an entire story of the whole Russian collusion, the government, Putin trying to help Donald Trump. That is a mistake, and you have to stop and separate the fact that Donald Trump Jr. seems to be intrigued by the idea that someone had damaging information about Hillary Clinton. Everybody on Trump's side is intrigued by information that would damage their opponent. But the other side is the other side legitimate? Is it a Russian agent? Where did the information come from? I mean, that, and it doesn't seem like it went anywhere. In other words, she was selling and Donald Trump Jr. wasn't buying.
I mean, she was selling information about adoption. I mean, she wanted to change to the this Maginski Act and wanted to, I guess, make it easier for Russian children to be adopted, and wanted to have that whole thing overturned that Putin installed, and get rid of some sanctions and those kind of things. But I don't think Donald Trump Jr. knew anything about it. I mean, I thought he was thinking he was going to get opposition research, and it didn't show up. Now, I heard one of the commentators, and we're visiting with Byron Henry, who said that Donald Trump Jr. could have committed intent to collude. And I'm wondering, is that a crime, intent to collude? I'd never heard that one before.
No, collusion, despite the use of the word collusion as a buzzword in both the media and in the general public, it is not a crime. There's no collusion crime. The collusion is shorthand for if there was an actual criminal conspiracy. Of course, a conspiracy is not a crime either. You have to conspire to commit an actual crime, and that's why they've been fishing for obstruction with Donald Trump. They were fishing on this campaign finance law, on solicitation of a donation from a foreign entity or national, which is what they're working with on Donald Trump Jr. They have to find a crime. Collusion itself is a fun word to use. It sounds sinister, collusion with a foreign government, but it's not a crime. And so it's just a buzzword which is suspicious and makes Donald Trump, his campaign, and his son seem shady because they could be, quote, colluding.
And the real collusion, I think, went on with the Ukrainian government and the DNC. And that seems to involve real information that was provided about a Trump official, Paul Manafort. And that collusion seems to be something the media is totally disinterested in, Byron. So I find it interesting that they're obsessed over something that didn't result in any information being transmitted. And they seem to be totally negligent in covering an event that really involved information being transmitted with a foreign government.
Certainly, I agree, and that any investigation could uncover things that are not very flattering for Hillary Clinton as a candidate or the DNC. So you better be careful what you wish for.
Byron, we only have about a minute or so left, and seems like you're getting paged. Does the activities of the special counsel give you any concern? The fact that we have connections to James Comey, a friendship there. Comey sort of engineered this whole special counsel. He's filling his staff with liberal Democrat donors. Anything there you think should cause some concern? It seems like the FBI director nominee, Christopher Wray, was not concerned about Robert Mueller.
I think it's kind of, I'll take a wait and see approach. Anytime you have a special counsel investigating around the White House, it's concerning, but I'm going to take a wait and see approach. I think he's very thorough. I do not believe that because some of the career prosecutors have some Democratic leanings that will influence that will influence the course of the direction. I think Mueller will run it, and I think that they will do a thorough job. And I think in the end, most of this Russian quote collusion information will become a thing of the past and a footnote.
All right. I hope you're right. Byron Henry, attorney, constitutional scholar. Thank you so much. SolidCounsel.com.